You're welcome back, and if you are just joining us, this is Sport Hour. So we will begin with the very first story, whereby on the good news, where the Tigers, that's the senior national basketball team, the male team, have qualified for the 2021 Afro Basketball Tournament after beating Sudan 70-75. South Sudan, sorry, 70-75 yesterday. That's good news for the Tigers going into Africa. They've shown that they're the best, one of the best African team in Africa, and defeating. Anyway, I never expected South Sudan to even come again and defeat us. It was not possible.
Of course,
when we have the likes of Ike Diogu there, some NBA stars there.
Yeah, but you can never say never.
No, we can say never in this one.
Because basketball, those guys are actually coming gradually to catch up with us. You can actually look at the margin. It was just 70 to 75.
They will try.
We were struggling at the first quarter. We were brilliant.
We won all the four quarters. We won the first the four quarters. Then the South Sudan now won the fifth quarter.
I know. So, at this point in time, it shows that those guys are actually coming back to actually catch up on the engine, because we know we are powerhouses. But they can't catch us. At this point in time, we should not let our guard down. We should actually get to fight. Know fully well that these games as one of our our preparation for the Olympics proper, but we know that we are going to have the Afro Basketball Championship before the Olympics. This is actually a massive win for the Tigers, for them to actually be the first African team to qualify to the FIFA Afro Basketball Tournament, apart from the host in that particular one. They will be playing the next game later today, and hopefully we should see them getting to consolidate on that particular victory that they had yesterday and see how they can be able to move forward.
But look at the fact that they missed the experience, the coaching experience of Mike Brown, who of course is a Golden State Warriors coach, and there without Mike Brown on the bench, they were still able to perform their usual magic and defeat South Sudan.
Of course, you just have to go in there and
regardless
of who is the coach, you just have to go there and give all your best, and to ensure that you get the needed results, so that you not be under pressure going into your next game. Because if you get to win your first game, then your opponent in your second game will be under pressure, knowing fully well that they are the one getting to feel the heat in that particular one. Because every team at this point in time, they want to actually get qualification to the African tournament. We will actually boost their ranking in Africa. So at this point in time, it was a solid performance from the guys yesterday. They didn't actually let their guard down. They actually went to get maximum points in that particular one, and they actually live to the billion in that particular one. Do you, for me, Jide, do you see them winning the Afro Basketball Championship? Because we know that they are 2 times African champions. Do you see them winning the top title?
Of course I do. Of course I do. I believe so much in these guys. We are one of the best in Africa. I know, yes, we might struggle when it comes to the world stage, not about that, but when it comes to Africa, I think we are the giants, one of the giants in Africa. Nigeria, Rwanda, at least the 2 countries are one of the Senegal, yes, the 3.
Then Angola also.
Angola, but in recent times they've not been shaking, they've been shaking, but let's see, get Angola as well too. So we are one of the best. So I expect that it's going to be between Nigeria, Rwanda, Senegal, and probably Angola for the title. But I pin it down on the Tigers. Being in Nigeria, number one, and being the fact that I know that we have the stars.
Of course.
We have the bigger stars.
We have the bigger stars in Africa.
And I expect that they will not want to disappoint.
Yes, in Spain and all that.
Yes, they play in NBA, they play in Greece, they play in Spain, and led by the fantastic guy called Ike Diogu. So who is very fantastic, who is a very fabulous player. I wonder why NBA...
He's a veteran.
He's a veteran. He's a veteran. And so though when he meets his mates, talking about the US counterparts, he happens not to perform very well. But when he was with Africa, he does very well. So I tip the Tigers
to win the 2021 Afro Basketball title. So we just wish them all the best. They should actually get to prepare well so that they can able to achieve their aim and that particular competition. Moving away from basketball now, we go to our next story where is on boxing. Nigeria will be missing in the 2021 Olympic Games. We recall that we didn't actually qualify for the African qualification series, and now due to the COVID-19, the organizers are actually cancelled the qualification series that we're supposed to go for us to get a qualification. Right about now, we will not be competing in the in the event of boxing come Tokyo Olympic Games. GD, this is a disappointing, is a devastating blow for the boxers, for the boxers that we have in Nigeria.
Yes. Was they could have qualified for the Olympics if they had gone for the African qualifiers, but Nigeria did not attend the qualifying series in on African soil, African qualifiers, and now the World Boxing Committee, they are saying now because of COVID-19 that there will be no more qualifying series, no more qualifying tournaments because of COVID-19. But any country coming to Tokyo will be based on ranking. And unfortunately, because Nigeria did not go for the African qualifying series, we dropped out of the ranking. So we cannot. So it's very sad for the athletes. Probably will be performing, will be training hard to ensure that they go for the qualifying series. But now the boxing committee has said, no, we are sorry guys, we have cancelled this series, this tournament, this qualifying series. Just go back home, enjoy yourself, wait till the next Olympics, that'll be in 2020. 2024, yes, for it to come and compete. So it's a very, very sad for the Nigerian boxers. And the last person that represented Nigeria, that was Efe Ajagba. Yes. The last Olympics, I think he won a bronze also. If my memory doesn't fail, I think won a bronze medal for Nigeria in boxing. So right now we are not going to see any Nigerian. Wow. And it's
both male and female, and we know that we have a whole lot of talent when it comes to boxing. Yes. We have them in Lagos, spread across the country.
That's why Efe Ajagba was able to win a bronze medal for us.
Foreign-based athlete also. I think it's just devastating. Yeah.
And the sad thing is that most of these athletes were training hard. Now, some were training for the National Sports Festival to use that as a launch pad and prepare themselves for the Olympics. Now, the games, the festival was postponed, now demoralized them. No, they now continue training hard again for the Olympics. Now, they now got this news. It has completely shattered their dreams. So they felt that their training sessions is in vain.
Of course.
Because of course they're going to the stadium or to the boxing ring every now and then to train for hours, watching what they eat, for everything, just to keep fit and in shape for the Olympics. But now it seems to them that it's going to be a waste of time for them, and it's so sad. And I'll put the blame on the
federation.
Yes. Why did they not go for the African series? Why?
And sadly, we don't really get to hear about the federation, about the activities. They don't actually relate to the media the way they're supposed to, the way it's supposed to be like other federations. Because we know other federations will actually want to be in the press at all the time. But it's also sad those at the end of affair when it comes to the Nigerian Boxing Federation. I feel they are not actually doing what they're supposed to do. They should actually sit or go back to the drawing board and ensure that they do what they have to do in order for we to actually develop the game of boxing, where we know that we have a lot of potential in that particular one. So Jide, you have the next story.
Yes, so now let's go to football, where the Super Eagles coach talking about Genero has declared Tessin Balogun Stadium unfit for the Super Eagles AFCON clash against Lesotho. He said, I think he made this statement while doing the official launching of the Authentic Supporters Football Club, a new logo, and he said, our guys cannot play on the old synthetic pitch, which Tessin Balogun Stadium has. That is not be good for them, and everything. And we know all these issues with the pitches. Yes. The players are not comfortable with synthetic grass because of injuries.
No foreign player playing in clubs abroad with natural grass will want to come back and play on a synthetic pitch, because we know it will be very harmful to the player. they can actually slide, they can actually give their best. And when you are playing with a weather that is not favorable, even when you play on the pitch, you don't get to feel yourself. Your legs will be very, very tired and very, very heavy. So at this point in time, we should not be thinking about playing any national tournament, any national competitive game on synthetic pitch. We should go to
grass is more of an artificial grass.
Yes.
While the natural grass is what grows naturally on the grass and they can level. That's why we see in Arsenal, Real Madrid, they play on natural grass. But in Nigeria, most of our stadiums have synthetic grass, which they carry plants and everything, and it's not good. The ball does not flow easily.
You just put stadiums that there are natural grass that we have in Nigeria. Abuja, the one in Kaduna, that's the ABS Stadium in Kaduna. Then the Uyo Stadium, talking about the Nest of Champions. I think about 4 of them are natural grass,
others are synthetic
stadium, but others are synthetic, which for me we should have gone the synthetic nature we have to be playing.
I think the reason why most of the stadiums use synthetic grass because
it's easy to maintain. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to
pour grass.
You don't have to
put
water on it.
So almost like you're putting rug.
But it's very, very harmful to the player because I know that most of our MPFL clubs, they play on synthetic. Look at the game against Eyimba versus River United when there was a heavy downpour. Those guys couldn't actually get to play that match.
Because the grass sucked up the water.
Of course. So you see the whole lot of disadvantage when for the synthetic.
And the ball will not even bounce. You play the ball, it just stop on points.
Of course. They even had to. Some journalists even had to call out those who actually fixed the synthetic pitch at the Eyimba Stadium. It just showed that at this point in time, the Sena climbs are actually moved away from synthetic
grass to natural grass.
If we want to use at the grassroots level, maybe at the Go project and all that, there's no problem. But if we want to use it in a competitive game that
at the senior level,
we should actually use natural grass. Every hand must come on board for them to actually ensure that we get to maintain those pitches. They get to water them. They get to treat them as look, when you watch EPL after one particular game, you see those guys coming to work on the pitch and all that in preparation for the next game. I think we should actually if we really want to take sport as a business in this part of the world, we should actually move on to that particular one.
Now, still talking about this clash against Lesotho now, it's going to be a must-win for Nigeria.
Of course, it's a must-win.
Knowing that how we drew against Sierra Leone, home and away, which cut our chances of we should have qualified ever since.
Of course.
But now this is a must-win for Nigeria against Lesotho. Lesotho is an unknown, relatively unknown team, so to say.
If I'm not mistaken, we went to Lesotho, we defeated them 4-2.
Yes, but anything can happen. This was the way African football is growing now. Anything can defeat anything, and we know how lackadaisical our national team can be.
Of course,
they lost their guard. Leading 4-0.
And they were motivated. We actually know that they have not been paid.
They have been owed.
They have not been paid since 2019 and all that. So the motivation also should actually come in place.
But now this game is a must-win
for the Super Eagles. Of course,
if not, Nigerians will bring down the roof of NFF.
Of course, because even the coach right about now talking about Gunnar is under fire, is under attack due to the fact that most Nigerians felt he should have been sacked after the African Cup of Nations in Egypt, but sadly the NFF actually get to renew his contract and all that. So at this point in time, the players will also want to play in the continent because we know that we missed the 2015 edition and it was not that good. Even the 2017 edition, we actually missed that one before we qualified for the 2019 edition. We were 2013 champions. That we should want to go in and get us to that particular final and see if we can able to win
our
fourth title. No, semi-final should not be the benchmark.
Yes,
the title should be the benchmark.
That's just it. Because if you start giving Roy, if we give you the benchmark of semi-finals, you feel relaxed.
Of course.
Say, give or take, we won that title. Then I think he can use the local players, but he doesn't use local players.
Of course, the NPFL is ongoing, and at this point in time, for me, I feel Coach Geneto should have actually tour around the country, get to select some few players. If at this point in time, we are not telling him bring maybe half of the team from the NPFL.
At least
2, 3, 4, 5 players. Bring them into the Super Eagles. Let them have that feeling that they are being called up. It will be like a reward for them playing well in the NPFL. Looking at the England national team, any player that is playing well is fine with all leaders. You see them call that particular player to the national team to prosecute any match they have in hand. But we will actually not rely on foreign-based players.
The fact that most of these foreign players, some of them don't even know their roots in Nigeria.
Of course, and some of them are not even used to the kind of
Nigeria before until they wore the Nigerian jersey.
Some of them are not even used to the African style of play. A whole lot of physicality and all that. You have to have energy for you to be able to run and all that, and defend also, because you are doing massive attack and you are also doing massive defending, which I feel if you can actually pick full players from the NPFL the same way the late Stephen Keshi did, and he actually won the AFCON 2013. If you can actually do it, I think he actually stands a shot to to win the AFCON title. So she's talking about football right now. We'll go to the female football, where talking about the NFF president, Amaju Pinnick, has said Randy Waldrum is the right man for the Super Falcons job. Do you think he's the right man for that job, Jide?
That's a $1 million question that I find baffling to answer, because we never knew the pedigree of Randy Waldrum before he was appointed the Super Falcons coach. And yesterday he was officially he officially signed his contract with the Super Falcons, and he'll be unveiled in Nigeria once they come back from Turkey. Whether he's the right man for the Super Falcons, for the 9-time African champions, is what I do not know, because
time will tell.
Time will tell, because we never knew about this man at all. He's a college coach, and he has coached I think in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
We don't know.
Those are not power. They are not power. Rich country.
And so I feel the Super Falcons is the biggest job for him ever right now. But this is going to be the biggest job. So in fact it's combining a college football coaching with Nigerian football coaching, and now they're in Turkey for a 10-day tournament.
Yes, and just to let our viewers know, Super Falcons game between CSK Moscow, that is talking about the ladies team, has just ended, and the Super Falcons actually get the maximum 3 points. They actually won that game 1-0 in that particular one.
So can say Waldrum is starting on a winning note.
Yes, so he has started on a winning note in that particular one. Hopefully, they will be playing their next game in that particular one. I'm trying to get the scorer of that goal in that match.
So while waiting for that, we expect Waldrum now to ensure that he brings on his tactics, whatever his tactics are. We don't know what they are, whether it's going to play a 4-4-2 or it's going to play a 4-3-3, whatever form of tactics he has to bring on. We ensure that we want the maximum result from the Super Falcons, because these girls are the African champions, 9-time champions. They're even more successful than the Super Eagles.
So the Super Eagles, when it comes to the African,
and
when it comes to the African scene, but in the world scene,
yes, not as successful.
Round of 16. Both teams has actually got to the round of 16.
But give or take, they are more successful than Super Eagles, because they won the women's trophy 9 times, where the Eagles have won it just 3 times.
So the goal was scored by Chiwendu Izewu, while she was assisted by Francisca Ortega in that particular.
The girl that always goes to the football pitch with makeup.
Of course, that's a normal work now. So she has to
she must look good.
She has to look good for her work, not minding the fact that she's actually not going to play in the field of play. Jide, you have the next story.
Okay, now let's come back to the home front, whereby the handball federation president, talking about Samuel Ochewa, is confident that Kwara State will host a world-class handball tournament for the under-18 and the under-21. He's so confident. He made his statement when he visited the deputy governor of Kwara State yesterday, and he said he's certain that Kwara State will give the world a world-class tournament. And we see that Kwara State has been in news for the past few years now.
They have been the home of sport in Nigeria. They are gradually becoming the home of sport in Nigeria because they get to host the volleyball tournament, talking about the national tournament. They get to host the youth games. They're talking about national youth games. Now they have been hosting volleyball activities for the past 5 years or so. So for me, I also told you in the line of Uwechu, I know they can actually get to host that particular one. They can even host the world. They can. It's just for we to actually put all the logistics in place and put the stadium in good shape, do some little renovation and all that, and we can actually host the world. I just wish they have a good sponsor that will actually get to support the federation. The sponsorship must actually come, despite the fact that we know economic meltdown due to the COVID-19 at this point. But we should actually encourage sponsors for them to actually get to sponsor sports activities in the country, taking our youths away from street and giving them a livelihood when it comes to sport in that particular one.
Okay, so we are not alone in the studio. We want the fans, our viewers, our fans to call into the studio. You have the numbers on your screen there. You can also follow us on the social media platforms. Let's share ideas tell us about what you feel about certain things we have said on this show concerning Nigerian sports, Nigerian sports in general. To talk about the Tigers, securing the win to go for the Afro basketball tournament. The Nigerian boxers have been told, guys, we don't need you in Tokyo, stay back in Nigeria. And of course, the Tessin Balogun Stadium is unfit to host the Super Eagles versus Lesotho AFCON clash. That's according to the Super Eagles coach, General Roy. And Pinnick has said that Randy Waldrum is the best man at the moment for the Super Falcons. Whether he's right or wrong, we don't know, but as time goes on, we know. So let's now go to our next story, still on football and still on NFF.
Yes.
The Gombe.
Gara Gombe,
who is the chairman of Gombe.
Former chairman of Gombe,
FA has said he does not trust the security agencies, talking about EFCC, ICPC, police, to investigate corruption in the Nigerian Football Federation. And he has his reasons. He has a lot of reasons why he said he does not trust, because we have not seen a concrete. These guys have been less on. We see massive corruption in NFF.
Allegedly corruption.
Yes, alleged, and we see proof. Even ICPC or EFCC sealed off their homes recently and everything. They were charged to court, 16-count charges of corruption. Talking about Amaju Pinnick, Shehu Diko, Mohamed Sanusi, Ahmed Fresh, and the rest. They were all charged to court on 16-count charge of conspiracy to fraud. 16-count charges, but they were cleared. They were declared that no, these guys are innocent. And when we almost see the corruption in the faces, but then the court said no. So I don't blame when Garagope said he does not trust the ICPC, the FCC, police, whatsoever to investigate corruption in NFF.
Of course, everybody with their own opinion and all that. But at this point in time, we Nigerians actually don't know the roads going in the Nigerian Football Federation at this point. I just feel that on a holistic approach must be taken for them to actually sanitize our football.
Sanitize.
This is not where this is not where we expect our football to be at this point in time. But as it is, we should just actually do the right thing at the right time. Let everybody get to do the right thing at the right time, and let, if anybody has any grievances or any corruption allegations, they should come up with the hard proof and all that. So, but
there's some hard proof whereby money was transferred into private accounts, it did not go. It did not go to the right channel.
Even the Obla panel also.
Yes, I said
they actually did their own investigation, and at the end of the day, their investigation was swept under the carpet. So I feel there is a whole lot of power play going on in the NFF.
Because NFF, they were able to press the right buttons.
Of course.
There were allegations there that the NFF was working with a certain person in the presidency, who of course is late now, and was able to suppress whatever charges that were hanging on the neck, using his influence as a member of the, should I say, the cabal in the presidency. But he's late. Cabal in quote, but he's late now. So we can guess who that person is. But that was the feelers we were getting from the NFF. Based on that, with that man in charge there, they're able to kill all the corruption cases in the hanging on their necks. But now, since the court have said no, anybody can see, like he said, anybody can still go up and dig up fresh facts about them and still take up the case up to the Supreme Court level. Of course. Because the case, I think the case stopped at the appeal court or High Court. So the case can still go, you can still revive the case and go back to the Supreme Court for judgment. For further judgment.
Okay, we'll move away from the local scene now. We head straight to the foreign scene, where we'll be giving you the news about what went down at the EPL yesterday, where Manchester City continued their winning streak after they defeated Everton 3-1 to extend their lead on the table with 10 points in the EPL. Goals from Bernardo Silva, from Ryan Mahrez, and also from Fedel actually sealed the 13th consecutive victory for Pep Guardiola
at the EPL.
At the EPL,
then 17th games in a row in all competitions. So these guys, one thing about that, they started very poorly.
Of course,
this season. They started very poorly. Now they've gathered that momentum. They've gotten to that peak, and they are the champions elect.
For me, they are the champion designated.
For them,
of course,
and the fact that they had 2 games, outstanding. Yes, and they were still leading by, I think, 6 points at that point, and they were able to now open a 10-point lead against a certain the noisy neighbors. Talking about Manchester United.
Now they have played their outstanding matches, so all the teams now have 24 matches played already, except for Everton, for Aston Villa, and Tottenham, who have some few matches at hand.
So imagine they're all on equal games games played now
with Manchester United.
Yes, and they have a 10-point lead. So I do not see them losing. Yes, they can lose a game. They can lose a game, of course. That'll be like 7 points difference. So I wonder how they're going to have Manchester United that were claiming, oh, Ole has come, Ole on the wheels and everything.
Even one of our producers in the studio.
Why do you like attacking this guy?
He's still saying that Manchester United are going to win the league. But our viewers, what do you think? Can Manchester United get to win the EPL title this season?
I can answer for the viewers. No.
You can just actually go to our Facebook page, to our Twitter page, and also send in your comments. Be assured that we are going to read it on the show before
the number is on your screen there.
But at this point in time, I don't see Manchester, from my own opinion, I don't see Manchester United getting to actually win the EPL.
Even Liverpool, they considered defeat already.
Even Liverpool, which I haven't thought they are going to get to defend that title, due to the fact that they started the season very well, impressive well, but at the middle of the season
they collapsed.
They actually collapsed. Things are not working for them. Due to, can we ascribe it to the injuries? Van Dijk.
Yeah, there are a lot of injuries. And also, there are a lot of injuries, but that shouldn't be an excuse. That's why you have 24 players who you can call up anytime. Though you have your preferred 11 players, but still, he did not just buy 24 players just for buying sake.
Still in the English Premiership yesterday, Burnley and Fulham actually played a 1-1 draw in that particular one. Our own Super Eagles right back, can I say right back or utility player, Ola I know actually got on the scoring sheet in
right
that particular one. Fulham.
For Fulham,
but he's a utility player for the national team.
Because he can play any wing at the back line.
That's the second goal in the EPL campaign for him this season. So we just wish him all the best. Let our own Nigerian player, let them keep scoring in that particular. We know the likes of Wilfred Ndidi, Kileti Iheanacho have been banging in the goals for Leicester City this season. So we just wish them all the best. Jide.
Okay, let's not our trainer goes to the UEFA Champions League yesterday, whereby Haaland scored twice as Borussia Dortmund defeated Sevilla. That was Haaland and Mbappe. Now that the two new Messi and Ronaldo.
Yes, of course.
So Haaland scored 2 goals yesterday, and against Barcelona 2 days ago, Mbappe scored hat-trick.
Yes.
Against Lionel Messi. Okay, so yesterday it was a very beautiful one for Dortmund, who I expected, because in the last few games they've not been doing very well as well. So, and Sevilla have been very, very good. Sevilla defeated Barcelona recently in the Copa del Rey, and I expected that naturally that Sevilla will be that they're playing at home, will defeat Borussia Dortmund. But one certain Haaland had better ideas.
Yes, of impressive performance.
Better ideas
from the young lad. He has actually broken some record when it comes to the Champions League as one of the youngest player who has scored beautiful goals, up to 13 goals if I'm not mistaken in the Champions League. About 19 or 13 goals there in the Champions League. But I feel it's impressive. He has been playing well for Borussia Dortmund this season. We saw what he actually said. Mbappé's hat-trick against Barcelona was a motivating factor for him to actually get on the scoring sheet against Sevilla yesterday. Impressive result for Borussia Dortmund getting to win that one. Still talking about the Champions League, Porto were 2-1 winners over Juve. Jide, Yororo, is the oil finished at this point in time?
No. He's reserving his oil for the second leg in Juventus. Ronaldo, he might have fired.
What is happening? Okay. Messi actually got in the scoring sheet.
A penalty.
A penalty, but Ronaldo actually fired.
All his 4 goals in Champions League season. All his goals in this season, Champions League has come from penalty for Messi. But Ronaldo, yes, he fired blank against Juventus. It happened. I mean, against Porto, it happens that once in a while you don't expect him to score goals every now and then. But we expect that this kind of games, whereby they've lost the first leg, is going to be gingered against them when they meet the second leg in Turin.
So at this point in time, Juve just need to score just 1 goal, and Porto don't get to score in the.
Let Porto score. Let Porto score a goal. But Italy, this kind of games, this is where Ronaldo,
will bring up his magic.
Yeah, and score hat-trick. He has done it. He did for Real Madrid, against Atletico Madrid, against Schalke 04.
Of course.
When they lost the first leg, he came around and scored hat-trick. He did the same thing against Juventus against Atletico Madrid last season. They lost the first leg at home to Atletico Madrid, and they go back to Juventus Turin, and they score a hat-trick to ensure that they qualify for the next round. So Ronaldo he might have fired black in the first leg, but he's reserving the scoring boots.
Okay.
For the second leg.
Let's look at the game that happened on Tuesday, where PSG defeated Barcelona at the Camp Nou.
They came for one thing.
It was a trashing of their life. Barcelona received that particular day. 4-1 at Camp Nou. Do you actually saw that coming?
I did not see that coming anyway. I expected that game to be like.
No, well, Neymar
was injured.
Was out on that particular one. This other guy too, Di Maria, was actually out on that particular one.
I expected the game to probably end maybe in 2-1 in favor of Barcelona, being that they are playing at the Nou Camp and everything. But PSG, of course, led by Mauricio Pochettino, they had other ideas again, and his player, Kylian Mbappe. And now again, Mbappe has played against Messi twice now. The first time was in the World Cup. Of course, we know who won the game. France versus Argentina. France, of course, won. And Mbappe is played against Messi again. And Champions League for the first time again, and he defeated Messi 4-1.
So many people have this notion that Koeman is not the right man for the Barcelona job. Do you see him leading the Barcelona team for them to actually turn things around when they play in PSG? For them to actually seek a final ticket in that particular way? Is it possible?
If he's sacked, they're going to sack him in the long run. Probably by then, Messi. I think my major advice is for Barcelona is do not rely on Messi any longer.
They should not. Apart from Messi, do you think they still have this quality of players? This quality of players
they do.
That we actually saw in the early 2000s when the legs of Xavi, Iniesta.
Yes, they still do. But the fact that they have built that team around Messi. They find that every player always wants to get the ball.
They want to give it to Messi
because he will perform his magic and just dribble and score. But the moment you keep looking for only Messi in the particular team, you are killing the growth of other players. Yes, Messi can bring out the best in player because he can close his eyes and give that true pass for you to score and everything. But if you have noticed in that game, once Messi is not playing, they do not play well. But when Messi comes on pitch, the game changes.
Of course.
Because they have built their game around
Messi.
So the moment Messi...
And the fear factor other teams have...
Yes. So don't be... But with in the days of Xavi and Co, you don't beat around Messi alone.
Iniesta can score, Xavi can score.
We know that Xavi can dribble around, can close his eyes and...
The likes of David can score from anywhere.
Anywhere, because it was a game, it was a team play. But now it's an individual play. That is what is killing Barcelona at the moment. And that is what's also killing Madrid at the moment now. Because when Ronaldo was in Madrid, all the
actually built around
Ronaldo. When he left, he crashed. So they're now rebuilding gradually, and it takes time before they can get to that point whereby it's going to be a team play. That is what.
Do you see the lives of Anthony Griezmann, the lives of Dembele getting to actually know?
Dembele is not playing his real game that we know he used to play when he was in Borussia Dortmund. Yes, his game is the kind of player that he wants to get the ball, he wants to run, and probably is like a natural winger. Yeah. But now his game has been curtailed. Do not run, do one or two passes, look round, give a pass, run forward, give a pass. But that's not the kind of game. So he's trying to adjust. I don't know why he's still adjusting. And again, he has been so unfortunate with injuries. Very unfortunate with injuries that he will go to hospital for like 6 months, 6 weeks thereabout. So the moment Messi is not being used as the focal point of attack
of Barcelona attack,
better for them because one day he's going to leave.
Of course,
and he might leave this season.
If everything pans out that they don't get to win the La Liga or they don't get
La Liga,
the Champions League,
then
I feel he will want to actually train it well.
The rate at Atletico Madrid is great now.
With Luis Suarez firing with all cylinders, getting to score goals from right, left, and center.
And he's a top scorer right now.
Of course.
How can you sell a Luis Suarez because he did not perform a season before to your immediate rival, and he has led them to point to the top of the table, and is leading
them getting to win the league.
So if he wins the league,
it will be very impressive for Diego Simeone and his team, because I know that they actually are playing well. We know that Real Madrid and Barcelona have not been that top form at this point in time. But still talking about the Champions League, do you think certain Leipzig can actually turn things around against Liverpool? Knowing fully well that Mohamed Salah and also Mane actually got the goals against Leipzig on Tuesday night.
One of our producers was asking us for odds. So let's give him the odds right now.
Wait, I've never said never or never. The certain Leipzig.
Let's give him the odds now. Let's give him the odds now. The odds now is that Liverpool, though they play the way to Leipzig and they won 2-0, they will come back to their home stadium
and get to win.
And still get to win. So
what about Barcelona and PSG?
I see PSG still.
So Barcelona cannot spring up magic. We know that.
That magic came because of one certain Neymar. Then Neymar was the brain behind that 6-1 comeback for Barcelona against PSG. And now that cinema is in PSG now, and Messi cannot do that magic.
Messi cannot do the magic.
I think that was in 2016 or thereabout that they got that 6-1 victory against PSG to qualify. That they scored 3 goals in the last few minutes of the game, and that was done by Neymar. So let's forget it.
Then Ronaldo second leg.
Of course, I expect Juventus to defeat Porto in Turin.
Okay.
And I see Ronaldo scoring a hat-trick.
Okay. Before we go to the Australian Open, we know we will not be talking about the Champions League game that will be coming on Tuesday and on Wednesday, due to the fact that our show is on every Thursdays. Do you see Chelsea getting all the points against a certain Atletico Madrid, who at this point in time they are fine with all cylinders?
Yeah, Chelsea. Yes, they may do so well, but I still don't see them defeating Atletico Madrid when they meet, because the way Atletico Madrid is going right now under Diego Simeone, that is the Diego Simeone we know, a very compact team, hard to score against.
Massive attack, massive defense.
Very hard to
when
score
you lose
against.
the ball, you see 2 players running to actually retrieve the ball from the opponent.
They are a very physical side, one of the most physical side in European football. Very, very tactic. They go in droves, they attack in waves, and they defend in droves. So it's very
massive attack, massive defense.
And he cannot to penetrate that defense. So when Ronaldo scores a hat-trick against them, it means that it's just something magical to have happened.
Of course.
Because to score a goal against Atletico Madrid, you must struggle, you must suffer. And if you manage to not score the goal, you must, and we have to make sure that they don't score, because there's no standard star. Carlos really is the main star of the team.
Of course, all the players are working for themselves.
Bayern Munich and Atletico Madrid, they're almost the same.
Yes,
because they
don't really have
a particular
big star.
They're all stars.
Apart from Lewandowski, that you want to actually single out in that particular team. But
they're all stars.
The rest of the team, they
work together.
Then, still talking about Bayern Munich, is it going to be a stroll in the park when they play against Lazio?
Of course. We know that, I think the game ended 2-0, 1-0.
No, this is the first leg.
Okay, this is the first leg. Okay, yes, their last game, it ended 1-0. Okay, that was against the World Club. Yes,
but maybe because they defeated Tigers of Mexico.
Maybe because of jet lag and everything, but being there in Europe and everything, so I expect, of course, they will defend. So
it will be a run in the park for
Bayern. It should be.
They're still talking about Wednesday games. Atlanta will play Real Madrid. Your own Real Madrid. Do you think Zinedine Zidane is certain Atlanta is a team to be reckoned with, because we saw the impressive run last season where they did some major upset in that particular.
Madrid may not be playing very well in recent times, but when it comes to those kind of Champions League games, the antenna is always on. So
the antenna is always on. Then the other one, Borussia Mönchengladbach against a certain Man City, who is actually firing with all cylinders right about now.
Man City.
Okay, let's go to the Australian Open.
Okay, now let's now go to the Australian Open, where the beautiful Naomi Osaka defeated the old horse, talking about Serena Williams, in straight set to reach the finals earlier today. Now Williams is looking for that record equaling 24 Grand Slam title, but Osaka said, "Auntie,
she had other plans.
Auntie, please, I'm here." And the funny thing is that Osaka is on a 20-match unbeaten run, and she has never lost in a Grand Slam final. And she'll be meeting Brandy on Saturday. So that means if she meets Brandy, that'll be her 21st victory, and then most likely she'll win a Grand Slam, because she has never lost a Grand Slam finals.
Of course, she actually
defeated Osaka.
She defeated Osaka 6-3, 6-4 in that. She defeated Serena Williams, I beg your pardon, 6-3, 6-4 in that
Williams
particular.
cried.
She has to, but
this same game has always been taken out.
Osaka has always been a thorn on Serena Williams' flesh. We know it's not easy. You getting to be a nursing mother, you getting to play tennis, because we know the game of tennis is an energetic game. You have to be at your right shape. Yes, of course. And it's not that easy, because you have to bring all your technical know-how, your energy must be in top shape and all that. So you have to be in top shape to be in that particular one. I just want to quote Naomi Osaka after her victory over Serena Williams early this morning. She said, "I was really nervous and scared in the beginning. Then I sort of eased my way into it." That's talking about Naomi Osaka. It's just always an honor to play her, and I just did what to go out really and do what it is expected of me. I was talking about Naomi Osaka getting to sink Serena Williams to reach the Australian Open final. So it's going to be a massive one. This guy also was actually stunned yesterday. Nadal was
and
actually stunned.
Nadal won the first two sets.
Yes,
Tsitsipas came in
from behind, and
that'll be the second. That's going to be the second guy in history that will come and defeat Nadal.
It's just to show you that the young players are beginning to catch up and to overtake the old players. I think it will be an interesting final in the Australian Open. We want to see new lads coming to actually to pick up the title. This will be the fourth title. If all things work out for Naomi Osaka, it will be a fourth Grand Slam if she gets to actually win the finals.
But she has not lost, according to records, she has not lost a Grand Slam before. So we expect that she's going to do the magic on Saturday and win the fourth Grand Slam against Brady. So the Australian Open is shaping up at the moment now.
Of course.
And we have seen shockers. The Nadal was a huge shocker. I never expected that to happen to Nadal. But anyway, he is not the king of this was not his fault. He's the king of clay, and I'm sure that would not have happened if he was playing on clay.
Of course, this is the king of clay. Experience will actually get to count. So let's go to the weekend's futures. Games will be happening live at the EPL, where Southampton will host Chelsea in that particular one. Burnley will host West Brom. Liverpool will entertain Everton, which is going to be a Merseyside derby in that particular one, while Fulham will play Sheffield United. In the La Liga, Chelsea will play Eibar, Atletico Club will play Levante, Valencia will play Celta Vigo, Valladolid will play Real Madrid. In the Italian Serie A, Lazio will play Sampdoria, Juventus against Verona, Bolliga against Osasuna in that particular one. Do you have the NPFL?
For the Nigerian League, it's going to be Abia Warriors against Warri Wolves, Dakada FC against Wiki Torres, Aqua United against Plateau United, the Rivers United against Enyimba again.
That's going to be
yes,
that's going to be the cracker of the week.
Yeah, that's going to be probably see Rivers United coming out because they'll be playing at home. Maybe they'll be angry for losing 20 million naira
against Enyimba. That particular one 1-0 ended, but they should have actually get to win that particular one, despite the fact that Enyimba were reduced to 10 men and they still actually got the needed victory.
So, of course, at the end of Bridges, you host Kwara United. Well, Ifeanyi against Katsina United, both sides are assuming in the relegation and everything, so they know how to battle themselves.
Of course.
In the relegation waters. Jigawa Golden Stars will take on the Nassau United. Lobby Stars will welcome Kano Pillars. That's another big one. Another big match on Sunday. The MFM, of course, will pray against Adama United. And Sunshine Stars will welcome Atlant FC.
In that particular
so at the EPL, West Ham versus Tottenham Hotspur. Aston Villa will welcome Leicester City. Then the big one is going to be Arsenal
against Manchester United.
So
Manchester City.
So probably now Man City is going to extend their winning streak against Arsenal.
Of course, so it's going to be a different ball game in that particular
master versus apprentice.
We know in the last match, that's the first leg, Manchester City won that 1-0.
And then they were not on form.
On that particular one, then they were not on form. But Arsenal can actually get to upset them in that particular one. Arsenal have been playing very well at this point in time.
Manchester United fans will be praying for Arsenal to defeat us.
Of course, but it's not going to be easy. The match is going to be a mouth-watering encounter that every football lover wants to actually see.
But then Manchester United, they must win to fight for the trophy. They must defeat Newcastle on Sunday. In France, it's going to be Montpellier against Rennes, Lens against Dijon, Nice against Metz, Nimes against Bordeaux, Strasbourg will take on Angers, the Lorient versus Lille, and PSG against two champions, Monaco and PSG, on Sunday. Then in Germany, it's going to be Augsburg versus Bayer Leverkusen, Hertha BSC against RB Leipzig, and Hoffenheim against Werder Bremen. In Italy, it's Panama versus Udinese. Then the AC Milan and Inter Milan. That's the San Siro derby.
That's the Milan derby.
Yeah, the Milan derby. So AC Milan versus Inter Milan, and both teams are first and second on the table. So both teams will fight for whoever is
fight for supremacy.
AC Milan is topping the table at the moment. So if they defeat Inter Milan, they extend their lead on the table. Then Atlanta against Napoli. Then Benevento versus Roma. In Spain, it's going to be Barcelona versus Cadiz. Of course, I expect Barcelona to defeat Cadiz.
Cadiz defeated Barcelona in their first leg.
In their first leg, so I expect Barcelona to defeat Cadiz this time around. Real Sociedad against Alaves. Then Huesca against Granada FC. Then Atletico Bilbao against Villarreal.
That's all the weekend fixtures.
Okay, so that's the weekend fixtures. So you can tell us the teams you believe, that will defeat. We have interesting games. AC Milan versus Inter Milan. We have Man City against Arsenal, and of course you have Rivers United against Enyimba. So you have some interesting, and you can watch all the Nigerian League matches on MPFL TV. It's an app you can download and watch all your games live and everything. So it's going to be an interesting game for us during the weekend.
During the weekend. Also the Merseyside derby, Liverpool against Everton. So
yes,
that's starting on Saturday.
Saturday.
It's going to be a cracker in that particular. And then Sunday is the Super Sunday, the Arsenal, Man City, Inter, and AC Milan. So it's going to be a Super action-packed load weekend.
Yes. This weekend is going to be an interesting weekend.
Of course.
So this is where we draw the curtains for today's show, and I believe you enjoyed every bit. But as we said on this show, before we go, we'd like to urge everyone to please take charge of your health. You can help us stop the virus by obeying the guidelines accepted by the authorities. Let's keep our social distancing, wash our hands regularly, or use an alcohol-based sanitizer, and use our face mask always. I remain Odishola Olujide.
I am Olawale Ayeni. So we'll see you same time, same station next week by God's grace. Bye-bye for now, and God bless you.
It's another time of spiritual awakening. Diocese of Abuja Anglican Communion invites you to our Diocesan Lenten Meditation, tagged The Way of the Cross 2021. Theme, The Power of His Resurrection, Philippians 3:10. Ministry, Most Reverend Dr. Michael Fakbe, Right Reverend Professor Dakbo Asaju, Right Reverend Daniel Olinya, Right Reverend Aloysius Agbo, Right Reverend Sunday Adewale, Right Reverend Prosper Amma, Right Reverend Foreman Nedison, and other ministers of God. Date, Monday 1st to Sunday 7th March 2021. Time, 5 p.m. daily. Venue, Basilica of Grace, AGGS Compound, Gudu, Abuja. Host, His Grace, Most Reverend Henry C. Undukuba, Primate of all Nigeria and Bishop of Abuja Diocese. Come and experience